Hey, what's happening, everyone? Welcome back to update number 3 on Stoneburner. Had a couple great working sessions in the past few days. Waking up at like 4 a.m., getting 2.5, 3 hours of work done first thing in the morning when I'm fresh for some reason, and really stoked with the way this song is turning out. It may be the best one yet, which I think is a good thing artistically. What you're working on should be the best version of what you can do. So thought I'd do things just a tad different this time, so I'm not talking over playing you guys the song. So we'll kind of go through added parts ahead of time, and then we'll listen, and then we'll go section by section. So yeah, let's jump right into it. I've been working on this intro, and I've added a pad that I made in Serum. Really simple so far, in my usual fashion. Came in here, just drew up my own sound waves. I got a little weird sine wave here and sort of a triangle wave. Lots of voices, lots of detuning, a bandpass filter that just wiggles just the tiniest bit, just for some movement. It just does this with this LFO set to like eighth note triplets. Nice long attack on the pad, and then just a little drop in sustain, and then a long release. And that's about it. There's a few effects on there. There's a phaser, some heavy reverb just to kind of dull the presence of it and make it a little more ambient and echoey. Some hyper, just playing around with stuff at this point. It's like a rough draft. There's just a little gritty drum beat happening now in the intro here on Satala. And then I've got some distortion here, red light from Presonus, phaser, and then just the Abbey Road compressor from Waves just to kind of glue it all together. So let's check out the intro. There's a little white noise coming in there. I just, what I'll often do is I just bounce like a full track's worth of white noise from Serum. I just drop it in and I'll automate the volume as need be. And if I want an effect on there, you can add an effect, but this is an easy way to quickly establish ebbs and flows of energy in the music. So it's pretty low, it's prominent there in the beginning because there's not a whole lot playing, but in the rest of the song, you'd barely know it was there. So moving into the next section here, you've pretty much heard everything already, I believe. The guitars, I took out, there was a chord, a lower octave chord playing. I took that out because the pad is kind of taking over that spot now. And there's one little change to the keys that you would have heard in the intro there towards the end. It kind of goes dun 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 dun. You'll hear it. Everything's just a little tighter, but keep in mind as we're listening to this song, this barely has any new drums yet. This is all like I mic'd this up in a second and did one take on the ride, super basic, just to get it in there and have something to work with. So I'm not working with just a click. I just, with the way this song is sounding already, without my fully processed nice drums, I have really high hopes about this one. So let's check out this next section. All right, so coming into the next part there's a new keys part that I'm real excited to show you, I came up with this the other night in like the middle of the night in my pajamas, and I love the vibe it added. So I'm gonna play it by itself first so you know what you're looking for. Let me boost the volume here on the 88. I decided with this song, it's the first time I'm using the Waves electric 88 piano instead of the addictive keys. It's just a little simpler, less CPU usage. I always feel when I was using the addictive keys like I'm doing myself like a little bit of disservice by not using all the effects that are within it. And that's a trend that I've talked about, that I actually don't like for my VSTs to have too much, because it overwhelms me at the initial starting point of writing. to have all these effects either going on the sound, and then I'm thinking about whether they need to be there. I just like it to keep it simple at the start. So here is this little keys part. So you'll hear the vibe that adds. I still need to write the bass part for that. This is the only reason this is on another channel was for just a quick volume automation. I don't like to mess with volume automation too early because it kind of takes away the fluidity of just moving the fader up and down just to try things. Once you put that point in there, you know, the computer kind of takes over. And sometimes I think that I've boosted something, and then I forget that the point's there, and then it drops it back down, and I kind of start fighting my own work. So just drop it onto another track for now. Worry about volume automation later. So let's check out this section. Everything else you've pretty much heard. It's just tighter again. So I did something different with just the layout. Instead of having, I used to do like all my lefts, the guitars on one side and all my rights, but this time I've just paired them up so I can make sure that I've covered each part simultaneously in your ear. And 2L and 2R up here are just our heavy power chords, just thickening up, often matching the bass line. And then down here is everything that's kind of riffy. Another nice thing was, and this again has to do with not needing to fight automation, each amp sound is roughly the same, but if I need to add a little effect, I can do so without affecting any other part. If I need something to be quieter or louder, like I know I've got 4R I had boosted earlier just a little bit because it has a kind of a guitar part that needs to be a tad more prominent in the back half here. So that's what I did there. And it was a nice workflow, just quicker, and it's very easy on the eyes too to see what's happening. So coming into this part, keys stay the same. The bass line gets the fuzziness now. I've started to sort of fine tune the effects driven bass. This morning I started working on that. So instead of having the Klanghelm SDR-R2, which is just kind of like a multi-effect processor, great plugin, but I wanted to do some more filter automation and stuff. So I opened up a Sound Toys effect rack, and I've got Devil Lock adding some grit. I've been going back and forth between either 2 filter freaks or 1 filter freak and the Phase Mistress. Like a couple different things happening here. Mixed in, lightly, and then the Decapitator just to add even more grit and kind of smash it all together. So it's not fully where I want it to be yet, but it's getting closer to the vibe that I'm looking for, and kind of the movement and life that is kind of in the my mindset was dubstep, like I'm trying to almost create a dubstep bass with my bass guitar. And that was the goal for this section. So let's check it out. So really cool there. Those guitars are all new. You hadn't heard those before. Very rocky. Got a great vibe right here. oftentimes in this song, you basically just have 2 octaves of guitars. And then that frees me up too when I want to add like a harmony part. It makes it really fluid to go and put that in and not figure out where it needs to be placed additionally in the mix, like fighting for a spot. So that part is coming out great. Really stoked on it. And then this last section that I want to show you, this is kind of where the song takes a turn in a different direction until the end. This is all brand new to you. So I will just play it straight through and shut up and let you enjoy it. And then we can kind of go back and pick it apart here when we're done. So. And you don't get to hear the end today. The end it's spectacular right now. It's just really powerful. It's got a great dancey beat to it. It really it's a nice way to cap off this song. So in this one, you've got a really simple chords on like baseline chords. And then up here on the top, I did that automation trick again there, just drop that down, but I'll put it back up here so it's a little louder so you can hear what's going on. I don't think it's perfect yet. I just wrote it this morning. There's a couple different note pairings that I've been going back and forth on. I kind of couldn't decide. So we'll fine tune that over time. A lot of times that type of stuff comes to me when I'm doing mix checks in my car. I'll bounce a copy and then I'll kind of vibe to it while I'm driving and see how I'm feeling about it. And I often, that's where I start making that fine tune stuff. So that's it, man. Stoneburner is really cool. It's turning out to be everything I ever wanted this song to be and more. That's going to be it for today. I thank you all for checking out the channel and hanging out with me this afternoon. Should be back in, a few days, maybe a week. We'll see what happens. I'm going to continue working this afternoon instead of surfing for once. I might still go surfing. We'll see. I did the work now, at least. But yeah, till then, guys, take care. Thank you so much. Make sure you like and subscribe if you want to continue to follow along on the production of Stoneburner and many more songs to come. Thanks again, guys. We'll talk to you soon.